citizens of a free world, we are in an enviable position. We enjoy the freedom to do what we like, the liberty to go where we please, and the free will to work where we choose to. And at the end of the day, we sit in our comfortable homes surrounded by people we love. We bask in the warmth of relationships we cherish, as we savor the fruits of modern democracy, of liberty, of prosperity. We speak of economic prosperity, but who are the people behind the economic miracle we call America? Who are the unknown faces behind this unprecedented economic growth that has made our country the best place to live in on the planet? Let's go on a journey back in time and find out. A long time ago, in many parts of the Western world, as we know it, a silent workforce labored, day in and day out, for several hundred years. To build our new world, they toiled in our fields and in our plantations and in our industries and our mines, often without adequate food, clothing or shelter. These men and women were brought to America in huge numbers as bonded labor. From across oceans and continents, kidnapped and captured, from their homelands thousands of miles away. They left behind their homes and their families, and put in years of hard labor, as they quietly went about the task of building our nation brick by brick, stone by stone. It was these work warriors, who put in their blood and sweat, to build this new world, we now proudly call America. Slaves were released from the bonds of slavery, to the bonds of poverty, and from no education, to an equal education. These two facts have dogged the progress of Black Americans, in one form or another, from 1865. They received no pay for their hard labor. These African Americans contributed at least 222 million hours of unpaid labor. They also served with distinction in the American Revolutionary War, also without pay. There is documentary evidence to prove that profits accumulated from the untiring efforts of bonded labor that led to our extraordinary economic growth. It's time we acknowledge the fact that the backbone of the American economy was shaped on the backs of this bonded labor. Which leads us to that one all-important question: has justice been served to these brave unsung heroes? We at ICRJ are listening. ICRJ is the parent corporation for the development and operation of the International Court for Racial Justice. The guiding philosophy of the ICRJ is to create a participatory, peaceful and dignified forum to settle the issues surrounding debt bondage in a manner that will benefit the descendants of those who put in the unpaid labor while helping to boost the economy of America and the world. The guiding principle of the ICRJ is that bonded labor themselves are owed payment for their work. This just debt owed to them was created and never extinguished. Therefore, the debt is still owed. Since the debt cannot be paid directly to those who earned the money, the debt has passed down to their descendants. ICRJ's function is to examine and evaluate their unpaid services, and to determine a just settlement for their labor. The ICRJ is the brainchild of Dr. Samuel C. Evans. It is a result of his life's work in this domain. His extensive experience in various capacities in government and public service has given him the ability and the inspiration to work tirelessly as a crusader against slavery. Dr. Evans has been honored with numerous awards and recognitions, but by his own admission, he derives his motivation from his family.
Time has been a witness to an unacknowledged contribution to our history. A contribution that was made by a people whose voices have been lost in the hum and throb of commerce, and in the phenomenal economic, industrial, and agricultural growth experienced by America and by the Western world. I urge my fellow Americans, along with citizens of the Western world, to come together and accept the moral responsibility for the just debt created by slavery. Let's work together and make the most of this opportunity to erase the stain of slavery by making amends for perhaps the greatest wrong in the history of the Western world. To do so would uphold the finest traditions of liberty, justice, and equality in this great and wonderful nation we call America.
The settlement of the just debt for unpaid labor is a first step in redeeming ourselves for the chances we missed in the past, as well as paving the way for marked improvement of race relations in the future. To make that a reality, ICRJ welcomes your large-hearted donations.